Hi everyone, I'm Shyam Ramkumar. I'm the Knowledge and Innovation Manager at Circle Economy. Circle Economy is an organization that aims to accelerate practical and scalable adoption of the circular economy. We use an international network and an open source ethos to identify opportunities for circular transition among businesses, among cities, and governments. And we do so through cross-industry collaboration, through identifying disruptive and innovative strategies and solutions to realize different opportunities. Today, we're going to be talking about the fourth industrial revolution and the circular economy. The fourth industrial revolution really builds upon the previous three, the first one being during the 18th century, the second one during its expansion in post-World War II, and the third one being the digital revolution with the emergence of the computer and with the emergence of the internet. And this is really an exciting time in the evolution of technology. We're seeing significant breakthroughs in technologies such as the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, blockchain, etc. And all of these technologies are further embedded into our daily lives and increasingly improve how we function as a society. And digital technology is a key enabler of the circular economy. We think that it's a core component of the 7 elements of the circular economy that we at Circle Economy use. And it really enables greater knowledge sharing and collaboration. It increases the effective use of assets and resources and really promotes improved well-being for everyone. And digital technology can truly help us achieve the economic, environmental, and social development goals that we've set for ourselves as society. And today we'll look at a few examples of how different digital technologies build up and work together to advance the circular economy. At the core of digitization is the infrastructure necessary to connect everyone and everything, the so-called Internet of Things. An example is Singapore and their Smart Nation initiative. What Singapore is doing is essentially building a network of sensors that collect various types of data. And all of this data is essentially made publicly available on an open portal. And all of this information provides the country with greater insights into the inflows and outflows of goods, of services, finance, talent, and really encourages greater knowledge sharing not only among different government agencies, but also encourages greater innovation and the co-creation of solutions between public and private actors. And through the use of all these initiatives and through the use of these technologies, Singapore is able to get a better understanding of all of the different assets and resources that they use and how they can more effectively utilize them. Once such infrastructure is in place and all of this data is gathered, another kind of technology can be utilized to enable smarter decision-making, to reduce waste, and to improve resource efficiency. And that's all done through the use of data analytics and artificial intelligence algorithms. An example is the German retailer Otto. They essentially started utilizing an AI algorithm developed for CERN. And what they did with this algorithm is they used it to analyze over 3 billion transactions and over 200 variables, things like past sales data, searches on their website, and even weather information. And what they tried to do was essentially predict what customers would buy over the next week. And through the use of this algorithm, they were able to do so with over 90% accuracy. As a result of all this, the surplus stock that Otto had to hold declined by over 20%, so they were able to more effectively order items that customers required. Moreover, product returns declined by over 2 million items a year, significantly reducing the amount of goods that they threw away as waste at the end of the season. And this had benefits not only for the economic side, but on the social side as well. Otto hired more employees to keep up with this increased productivity and start to work together with these AI systems. So it really provided a significant benefit to the company from an environmental, economic, and social standpoint. Artificial intelligence at a more advanced stage has led to significant breakthroughs such as autonomous vehicles. And autonomous vehicles will fundamentally alter not only how we move in society, but also how we build and design where we live. If you think about a typical car today, a lot of cars are traditionally owned, and they're actually parked over 95% of the time. But in the scenario with autonomous vehicles, cars would no longer really be owned, but shared across different owners. And they won't just remain idle, but they'll be constantly driving around the city, picking up and dropping off different passengers. And this significantly increases the utilization of cars, a single car, and also reduces the need for the number of cars that we have today. But not only will it affect how we move using cars, it'll also fundamentally alter how we design our cities. We no longer will really require large areas to be dedicated for parking garages or parking spaces. And actually, architects in various cities are planning for this future development and are looking to see how they can convert unused garages or unused parking spaces into apartments and more high-value living spaces. An additional aspect of autonomous vehicles and an impact they'll have is they'll essentially make the infrastructure of traffic lights irrelevant. There's this video by MIT shows, if you compare a normal intersection with an intersection with autonomous vehicles, the difference is quite staggering. Autonomous vehicles essentially do not have to slow down or stop. They are able to communicate with each other and adapt their speed, so they basically barely miss each other when they go through intersections. And this significantly increases traffic throughput and also reduces emissions. Cars no longer have to stand idle at intersections, and they can just keep moving, and they're able to optimize their fuel efficiency. The last example is a technology that's really getting increased attention in the media and has huge potential for the circular economy, and that's blockchain. Blockchain is primarily used in the financial sector, but has the power to transform supply chains across various industries. What the technology is essentially a public ledger, a record of all transactions that occur between different parties. And as a new transaction occurs, this ledger is automatically updated and everyone is notified of the event. And what it aims to do is truly address the issues of trust and transparency between different actors. An example is Bext 360. They're a company that is utilizing the Internet of Things, blockchain, and also artificial intelligence to make the coffee supply chain more fair and transparent. Essentially, coffee farmers who harvest beans can provide it into a Bext machine, and the machine has the capability to use artificial intelligence and machine learning to analyze these beans and grade them on different quality standards. And all of this is then instantly recorded onto the blockchain, and the company is able to identify which farm or which farmer produces the highest quality beans, which grade the beans are made out of, and how much the different farmers should be paid. The farmers are then paid digitally using cryptocurrencies via a mobile app, so they instantly get compensation for their efforts. And the beans are then tracked and traced all the way from these farms to roasters, to retailers, and ultimately the end consumers. All of these transactions that occur throughout the chain are recorded and made available to all parties, and all of these actors can use the data to optimize any supply chain inefficiencies, to increase compensation to farmers, and to enable consumers to truly understand where their products are coming from. The technology has the ability to dramatically increase transparency, to reduce transaction costs for verification and certification, to enable smarter contracts between different organizations, to enable inventory accounting, and also ensure that fair payments are made across the value chain. And this blockchain technology can be utilized not only within the coffee bean value chain, but also other industries and other sectors as well. So it has huge transformative potential. You can find these and other examples of how digital technology is advancing the circular economy on our Knowledge Hub. We have an entire section dedicated to examples of how companies and cities and governments utilize new and emerging technologies to take steps towards a more circular future. In closing, I will say that technology, as we've seen, has massive transformative potential, but there needs to be proper planning. Technology is by no means a silver bullet, but merely an enabler for circular transition. various policies, ethical questions, and unintended consequences need to be discussed and evaluated to make sure that we consider the use and the consequences of digital technology in the long term. We want to make sure that these technologies truly lead to circular outcomes and don't just improve linear efficiency. We at Circle Economy are excited to explore these directions together, and we look forward to discussions after this video. Thank you very much.